Hi, I'm Łukasz. I'm cinematographer of Zone of Interest. It's a film about a German family who lives in Auschwitz. He spends time with the family, he reads books to his kids, and then he goes to work and sending people to death. The whole approach was not to be in any way attractive, just to show this as close to the reality as possible. How can you glamorize this that could be so inappropriate to just create a beautiful light with just nice, wrapping light and contrast on the face? We're shooting in 300 meters from the real camp. We are shooting in a natural light. We're finding a critical distance, so we didn't want to be emotional. We didn't want to manipulate. It's composed in the most simple way, just simple, honest, center. No lights at all. There was no flags, no reflectors, no fill light, nothing, never. I needed to forget about everything. We're shooting in a front light. We were shooting at noon. We were shooting with one practical, because very often in film you have 5 practicals, 3 practicals. Everywhere when you look, you have a practicals, and we have only one practical, one bulb, one naked bulb. We didn't know where the action will happen. So we need to show everything a bit wider. And it was just so amazing and so weird just to see those 10 compositions. I remember the first time, John told me, Big Brother in a Nazi house. Our priority was just to make camera as small as possible.
They wanted to shoot it with multiple cameras. Most of the days were shot on 10 cameras, so we had to think of how to put all of those cameras inside the house. They were supposed to be working without crew members next to them. We used something around 4.5 kilometers of cable to wire this project just for the camera.
We decided to use Sony Venice, and with Rialto, of course, because it was the smallest camera possible, with a lens and follow focus.
The shooting itself was interesting because the director didn't want to cut the camera, so he wanted to record for 15 minutes or longer. And with that camera we could do it without reloading it. So we have tested XOCN ST against XOCN LT, but since no one in post-production could see the difference, they said, okay, we can manage that half a petabyte and shoot on XOCN ST.
And it has really great dynamic range and also great ISO. We are using very often, this base 2500. And I was shocked that, that this dynamic range is so high. Basically, you don't need to use any lights, and it works, even if you have sun in the frame. But it was unbelievable that you don't need to use any lights. We decided to use lights lenses. It was, very fast because it was 1.4. We didn't want to use any vintage lens. We didn't want to use any lens which will impose any look. But one film is in the image, and there is another film in the sound.
Das hier ist die Mauer vom Lager. Ja, das ist die Lagermauer. Also da haben wir auch noch Wein gepflanzt, damit das zuwächst, damit man das nicht mehr so sieht.
In the sound, you can really hear this horror, and I think your imagination works even more. Sometimes, this what is beyond the frame is more important than this what is in the frame, and how you can really just build a world with showing things and not showing things. John told me, Łukasz, what we are doing here, we need to build the scaffoldings and which will be projected in the viewer's head. What really struck me in the script, that it was so objective and with no judgment. This 10 cameras simultaneously and those wide shots and those central compositions were exactly for that. We didn't want to judge them, we wanted to just witness.